Good thing I ran into you.
I hear people.
What's going on?
Are rotting.
Parel, the bastard. Now the dragon has a body and soul.
You two have been enemies for as long as I've known you, Sergeant.
This time it's different. At first I thought he wanted to get revenge for a few things from earlier. It would be just like him to break your truce. But it hasn't stopped. He claims he wants to free the Warunkians from some subjugation. Been calling himself the protector of the forgotten lately. The truth is, he just slaughters anyone he doesn't like. Women, children, he's gone crazy. This isn't just crime anymore, lad. This is war.
Sergeant, what do you want from me?
Why, to warn you, of course. What else, lad? Sooner or later, Parel will sidle up to you and start spreading his dirty lies. You must not believe him, lad. Douglan Dratchas. Don't believe a word that rogue says.
I'll be careful, Sergeant.
And if you run into one of Parel's brown nosers, make short work of them. They all deserve it. Gosh, Tosha most of us.
I hear that the dead have risen to eat the flesh of the living.
He's still young and has strong arms. In the Middlelands, he would still have a life ahead of him.
Ah, Chiron.
Reverend, Margrave.
Glad you're conscious this time. Thank you again for your dedication to the good of the city.
What have you discovered?
Gamut actually was on the track of a healing artifact, but he died before he could find it. His methods were unusual, but for the sake of all the infected, I've arranged for the search to continue.
So, there is hope. My Mother Parain, that's good news. Here, take this. Warren owes you her thanks and recognition.
And be more careful in future. Evil often comes unexpectedly in the Shadowlands. My people can't be everywhere.
Especially since your people should be primarily concerned with the enemy beyond the walls, Metropolitan.
All the better that there are no disagreements as to who will execute the summoner my people caught.
To my knowledge, that was a certain traitor, one whose demise left a vacancy not only as your deputy, but also in the office of Plague Bailiff.
Metropolitan Turgulem, you're the leader of the Rondrians here in Warunk, right?
If titles are important to you, the Metropolitan represents the Sword of Swords, the head of the Church of Rondra.
Strange title.
The sword is the queen of weapons. It is simple, honest, and without guile.
And virtuous enough to be used to put false co-conspirators in their graves.
If you want to look at it that way.
Margrave, isn't your place really in the upper town?
That does not mean that I don't like to mix with people. I enjoy watching the carpenters just as much as I do spending an evening in the gardens up there. But you're right. Normally, Sergeant Fergalosh would be responsible for the lower town. Currently, however, some developments require my attention.
So the summoner finally gets his just desserts. Have you learned any more about why he was summoning demons within the walls?
His deeds were too reckless for a mage. His demonic masters must have ordered him to. Or fault.
We demanded answers from him, but he remained silent.
And your goddess doesn't like the methods available to force someone to answer, right?
Either way, the sword is too good for him. So he will hang. An interrogation will be a waste of time.
Where is this execution going to be held?
Marketplace, second hour.
And of course you too are welcome to be there when the villain gets his just desserts. Until then, farewell.
His hanging corpse will serve as a warning to those who still pact with demons.
Fine. See you at the execution.
And greet your father for me. I'm sure he's expecting you. You'll find him in the old pillory.
The Metropolitan announced the city walls have been
Those assholes in the
completely
guard slaughtered
rebuilt.
everyone who wanted to get the food
Joint
from the
efforts
armory and
after the
spread it
divine
around.
lioness.
Those assholes in the guard want to spread it around fairly, not just throw it out in the streets.
Under the thunder of the trumpets of Peregrine. Remember to protect your
Hear
freedom
that the
from
dead
evil
have risen to eat the
necromancers
flesh of the
and
living.
sinister Pakir.
You're back. You defeated Gamat.
It was his destiny, he claimed. The power of his gift has been transferred to me, just like Falk's. But I have even more to tell you. About undead slaves and false saints.
And then there were 5. It's terrible to learn how your own children butcher one another. And now the next awakened is already on your trail. She says she will find you, and she gave me this.
An awakened was here? She spoke with you?
I don't know if she wants us as allies, or only as tools for her own plan. These are instructions on summoning. She said it can call up the demon that created your gifts. But the document is complicated. Nandurian figures, encrypted 3 times. I'll need some time to make sense of it.
Why should she play into our hands when she has everything and we have nothing?
She says that she can free you from the forced killings. I'm afraid we have to play along for now.
Only until she shows herself to me. Then she will answer me. You called Gamat your child. Don't tell me that you're father to us all.
Calandra is not your sister, you know that. I know I sired 3 of the 7. 1 girl, 2 boys, and you are one of those boys.
And Calandra?
She has a different father. He is as shrewd as he is obsessed with Borbarad's teachings. 3 women and 4 men. That should be all 7 awakened.
That means this awakened could be my real sister.
Yes. Maybe Falk was your brother, or Gamat, or one of the others.
What does this awakened expect to get by summoning this demon? That's risky business.
If she's telling the truth, the ingredients listed in these instructions really could help. Each demon has its own peculiarities, which must be taken into account during the incantation. The real danger starts when it appears. The demon's true name helps to keep it under control, but you can never be sure if they will really follow your commands or betray you instead. In the end, the exact wording of the command is the most important thing. Whatever you negotiate with the demon, it will stick to it. And that's why every summoner is eventually dragged down to the nether hells, because they used the wrong words just once.
You've always had this way of boosting my courage.
You're not just every summoner, Chiron.
I found out that Azrael took Calandra to the Clawmaw to expand her consciousness using a demonic plant. Azrael introduced her to Gamat, but didn't let them fight each other. The way Gamat spoke about their relationship, it reminded me of the way you taught us.
It fits. Azrael is trying to seduce Calandra with Borbarad's teachings, just like me. Vast knowledge, infinite power, tempting things.
We also don't know what role the Awakened who visited you plays. She may even be Calandra's messenger.
Or her killer. That would be the worst.
But there has to be something you can tell me about this Awakened. After all, she did come here.
Maybe her gift drew her to you. Maybe she couldn't resist its power any longer. The gift influences the will of its carrier. You've already noticed that, haven't you?
Yes. Can you tell me more about her?
Her clothing is provocative. Lots of necromantic symbols. Not exactly Borberadian.
Maybe she's not one of Azaril's followers.
She did say that she wants to help you, though she may be out to trap you. But with her look, she will have to keep a low profile in Warunk. That could give you an advantage.
Why should I summon this demon anyway?
If the bearers of the gifts truly are destined to kill one another, then the demon is probably the only one who can remove that constraint. Negotiating with it is more likely to be successful than trying to talk Azaril into abandoning her plan.
Demons are hungry for human souls, and nothing else.
Right, and this is your chance. With the ritual of your birth, Azaril forced the demon to her will. That is the only reason he created the gifts. He should hate her for that. If you can offer him something valuable, then I'm sure he wouldn't be averse to taking revenge on her.
I have to offer him my soul.
Hopefully not. But you have something he wants, and for some reason cannot get. Otherwise, he would already have taken it. Also, you both want to hurt Azaril. That's not a bad basis for negotiation.
I've never summoned a demon. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't know how.
A summoning isn't something you just jump right into. The preparations require time. As far as I can make from the document, 3 paraphernalia are needed to perform the invocation.
Paraphernalia?
Offerings to the demon. They make it easier to call and dominate. Summoning ingredients, if you like. It says, "First take unto thee 3 stones of the 3 great powers. From the manor rob then 3, of the world, of magic, and of divinity. Burn now the 3 in demonic scorching flame of the nether hells."
Where am I supposed to get stones like that?
Summoning instructions are basically a matter of interpretation. You'll probably have to improvise. It's best you find this awakened and ask her. Then you can still decide if you want to perform the invocation.
If she isn't luring me into a trap to kill me.
Either way, you can't really lose.
People of Warunk, here you see the villain responsible for the attack on our city and our faith. The executioner's sword he defiled is too good for him. A vile rope should suffice to send his dark soul where it belongs, the nether hells. Know this, Warunkians. So end those who dare rebel against the 12 gods. Take heed, those who have used recent events to satisfy their greed. They are wrong, and I will call them to account. So, Rogue, any last words?
You will pay. You will all pay.
Fire! Fire at the old Rondra Temple!
Skelina, Mactala with Harika. Your pardon, sir, but have you seen my girls? We had agreed to meet, but they haven't shown up. That's not like them at all. Oh, it's you.
Right.
It's your fault my brother died in Moloch Mountain. But the least you could do now is help me. If I lose the girls too, I'll have no one. Please, find my daughters. I can reward you.
I don't really have time to look for your daughters now. What form of eternal gratitude were you offering?
If you bring them back, you shall have the most valuable thing I own. Apart from my children, I mean.
Do you know more about what's going on between the Guard and the cartel? The streets look like Warunk is at war.
I'm just a simple teamster's wife, but I think it's about power. It always is. Maybe amongst the Rondrians too? I mean, ever since the Lord Aravor's betrayal, they've been busy with themselves. Many duels, many dead. That left them little time to take care of the refugee camp, but what does this have to do with my children?
I noticed the summoner stared at a child from the scaffold. Could your daughters have been at the execution? Or at least one of them?
The execution? Possibly. They were always wherever there was something to see. Especially Maktala loved that kind of thing. Even egged the others into proving their courage at the prison, even though I always forbade it.
Tests of courage near the cells of robbers, murderers, and defilers. I bet the summoner really impressed them, didn't he?
By the Dark Mother, they spoke of him. Please, you have to find them. They're triplets, barely 10 years old. They all have my hair, and they're all wearing green dresses. The prison is in the guard headquarters, but they could be anywhere. Maybe even in the upper town.
I'll have a look around.
Dash it, those Rondrians. Finally someone's cracking down around here.
People of Warunk, be reminded that every death must be reported to the Metropolitan, and each body delivered unto the
Here
Neons.
the dead have risen to eat the
Anyone
flesh of
who
the living.
refuses to comply and continue to
Nice fight. Chiron, I presume.
You know, if you have something hotter to offer than that fire, I just might be able to answer that.
Where that fire comes from, it's so hot that tougher men than you have melted like sweet caramel.
And you want to be the one to suck the last bit of life from my body before you enslave my bones, right?
Sounds inviting. But first, we too have a demon to summon.
So you really mean it?
Of course. It's high time we were rid of these demonic gifts.
I'm not summoning some demon just to toss in my soul. Maybe you're only here to get it yourself.
Listen, Chiron. Azrael created our 7 gifts. She had to promise the demon 6 souls in exchange, but she is allowed to keep the 7th. That last soul is supposed to become Azrael's tool, the first paladin. And of course, there can only be one. Azrael believes that life is but a constant battle, and she forced that battle upon us with the gifts. In the end, all of the prey has been devoured, and only the hunter remains. Borberadian philosophy.
You gave me the instructions for a summoning. You tell me Azrael's plans, I have everything I need. That sinks your chances of survival.
Damn it, you're just so cute. It isn't that easy. I have 2 secrets you don't know yet. The first is Zulgaroth's true name. That is the only means of controlling a demon that powerful once it has been summoned. The second secret, if I ever give it to you, will be a gift.
And I will have to earn that gift, right?
That depends on how far we go, Chiron. The true name should do you for now. By the way, my name is Cassio.